Okay, welcome back to the channel, everybody. So in this video, we're going to take a look at tee height and how important tee height is for you to maximize your distance with the driver off the tee. So obviously it's different strike locations up and down the driver can affect spin. We're going to look deeper into that and maybe see what tee height is correct for you as a golfer to maximize your distance off the tee. Okay, so tee height, one of the biggest questions I get asked a lot through coaching fitting. What is the right tee height? Should I have the ball half above the top of the crown, which is a typical sort of start point there? But really it depends on your angle of attack. Now what we mean by angle of attack is how you deliver the driver to the golf ball. Is it hitting the ball on the way down or is it hitting the ball on the way up? Now most of us know we probably should be hitting a little bit more on the way up, which would benefit us in terms of launch, spin and getting your maximum distance for you as a golfer. But sometimes a lot of golfers, well most of the times a lot of golfers will hit down on the golf ball, so that really can affect how high you're going to hit the tee peg. You can imagine if you have that tee really high, you hit down on it, then sometimes we get those horrible, really high in the face strikes, sometimes what we call those sky strikes, and they just go straight up, you know, to the sky. Obviously, and it's a horrible shot and leaves a dirty, massive mark on the top of your driver. So obviously, understanding your attack angle will influence your tee height. So obviously what we want to try and do with the drive is play that ball inside that lead heel, so forward in your stance, which would typically help us to try and hit a little bit more on that upward blow. But I'm just going to hit some shots here now and have the tee height at some different heights, and we'll see where is striker. We'll use TrackMan, we'll see the strike location. If it's low in the face, what happens to spin when I catch one high in the face? Does that alter the spin? Does it alter the launch? Does it alter the distance? So I'm going to start off with a tee peg that is pretty low, probably, well, it's too low for me, okay? And sometimes I find golfers like to tee the ball down, they're scared of teeing it up again for hitting those sky shots, but maybe those golfers are hitting a little bit more down on the golf ball, so they're trying to meet the low point of the swing more with the golf ball in terms of its height on the tee. So I'm just going to hit the shot. I'm going to play all the ball positions the same. I'm going to play my normal swing, but I'm just going to give you some ideas. If we do hit it low in the face, what actually happens? Okay, so that was low. I could feel that, and there's that strike location on TrackMan. So clubhead speed 112, 162 ball speed. You can see spin rate there 2697. Now that's not bad actually. Sometimes I expect that to be a little bit higher. I'm actually using the Ping G425 LST head, so it is a little bit more of a low spin head, to be honest. But that carried 268, running out 298. Decent distance there, but I feel like I've lost a little bit. It didn't feel solid to me. So let's move that ball slightly higher now. So I'm going to do 3 different heights here now. So that's a little bit higher. So that's probably half the ball above the top edge of the club. Okay, let's see what strike I get from that. I'm going to try and do everything the same as best I can. Okay, and that felt more solid. Felt a little bit toe side, which it was. There you go. So touch higher up the face. Again, clubhead speed very similar, ball speed quite similar, launch a little bit higher there. See the spins just come down a tiny bit there and a bit more carry. So I've delivered 1.4 on the way up. So just look at those 2 shots to start off. We're going back to that first shot hit there with the numbers. So you see 0.8, the attack angle, bottom right number. So I've hit that just slightly on the way up. Now the ball's teed low, so that's going to want me to stay down with that goal shot. That's influenced my attack angle a little bit, because as soon as I teed that ball up, and I did everything pretty much the same, you'll see it goes up to 1.4 positive. So I've hit more up on that second one with the ball a little bit higher. The higher the ball, it'll influence you to trying to hit a little bit more up on the golf ball. Don't feel like you stay down and sort of squeeze that ball off that low tee peg. So you'll see the launch goes from 8.4 degrees, spinning at just short of 2,700, gives me a 268 carry. And then going to that one, which I struck a little bit high, you see 12.6, so I've delivered a little bit more loft because of my attack angle. Launch has gone a little bit higher because of my attack, and also because the ball's struck slightly higher up the club face, a little bit more loft in that middle of the face than there is in the lower part of it. Through gear effect, spin comes down a touch, you see carry jumps up to 285. So you'll see there from pretty much the same clubhead speed and ball speed, just through that little bit of strike, which has influenced my angle of attack, I've launched a little bit higher, I've spun it a little bit lower, and I've gained 17 yards of carry from very similar speed numbers. Okay, so I'm going higher again. So this is teed pretty high, Again, it'd be interesting to see what it does. So quite a lot of the ball now above the top of the crown, or the top edge of the driver, should we say. That's launch high. Just hit that up that left a fraction, a little bit of toe, but there you go. We can see that ball strike now is higher than that dotted line, horizontal dotted line. So his speed was a little bit quicker there. Ball speed 163, which is similar. You see launch a little bit higher again. Attack 1.4, so I haven't actually hit any more up on that, but because I've struck it a touch higher up in that club face, that's actually giving me a little bit more launch, about 1.5 degrees more launch. But look at the spin, 1,900. So the spin has dropped again because the strike's a little bit higher. That's the gear effect that's happening in that club head. Low strikes tends to put a bit of spin on it. High strikes will pull a little bit of spin off. So all of a sudden then I've just got a little bit more carry there. 287 on the carry, but a better run out at 315 because of the lower spin as it sort of comes in. Okay, so just having a quick look at that side on view and top view of the ball flight. So looking on the top one, we can see obviously the first one very noticeably lower, and you see how it lands out a lot lower. So that's obviously the one where I've caught very low in the club face. So ball T too low for me. I've adjusted my attack angle a little bit to try and make sure I try and strike it in only 0.8 up, but launching at only 8 degrees makes it come out low with a bit of spin. You can see it's you know, it's just going to drop out the sky quicker because my launch is too low. So I've lost that bit of carry distance straight away there, which was about 17 yards to 20 yards there, difference of that carry through the air. Noticeably different as soon as I've got the ball, sort of half the ball above the top of the drive, which is typically where I would tee it. And then the one that's even higher again, you can see launches up in around that sort of 12, 13 to 14 area, lower spin, so it's a bit flat on the peak, at the peak of its flight, but you can see it maximises that carrying a little bit of that run out. And just looking a little bit more detail on those 3 shots there, see it's interesting how that last shot actually swung the club a little bit quicker, you know, just up in the air. I could release it, I didn't have to stay down with that shot as much. Ball speed was actually quicker because that just got that little slight toe strike with that, but you see the differences of the launch, 8.4, 12.6, 14.1. So as I've increased my strike up the club face, the launch has gone a little bit higher and the spin has reduced as you've worked down, and the carry has increased. And a big difference there again of your run out carry as well. Okay, so there's a very simple little test there. Tee height can massively influence the distance you're hitting the golf ball. As I say, you probably need to work out what your angle of attack is. So you might need to get onto a launch monitor to understand, are you hitting down, are you hitting up? But I think if you're always wanting to tee that ball really, really low, and you've had the experiences of hitting sky shots on your driver, then probably I would say you are going to be hitting a bit too down on that golf ball. Now, obviously that can be swing related in terms of, you know, the movements you make, where your ball position is, those sort of ideas. But I think that's where I would sort of try and get your swing arc and your low point control, you know, hopefully hitting a little bit more up on it, and then you can then start to think a little bit about tee height and understanding those different strikes, and you will definitely gain some extra yards. If you get that strike pattern right, you will get the launch in the right direction. Again, you've obviously got to get your driver set up in the right loft as well. That will influence things a little bit more, but you can see even there with the same head, same loft, same shaft, I've not changed anything there. I've got some very different results purely for my strike up and down that club face. Post comments down below. Let me know your thought. What is your strike pattern like on the driver? Are you a golfer who wants to tee it low, or do you like to tee it up as high as you can? Love to hear your thoughts and how you've got to that. Did you get measured on a launch monitor? Post your comments down below. Let me know your thoughts. I'll come back to as many of you as I can. If there's any questions, again, fire them down there. Appreciate you watching the video as always. Hopefully you pick up a few extra yards for yourself there with that little tip on tee height. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. Very much appreciate the support, and hopefully I'll catch you all very soon.